This is Josh with StrongRootsHealthyFarming.com. Just wanted to show you guys our new trailer. We're going to be shortly turning this into a mobile cooler. We're pretty stoked about it. We've got a cool bot coming. We've got an AC unit coming. This is a 7x14 Hawk line, and we picked it up to 2016. It has some slight hail damage, but it's ready to roll, and we'll be able to put our logo on it and all that good stuff. And I picked up a bunch of this closed cell Foamular 150 and 250. Yes, all of that's going to go in there to insulate the sides and turn this thing into a full R30 insulated cooler. Alright, so we've got all the plywood off that we need to get plywood off. That way we can start insulating this puppy out. We're going to throw in some 1-inch insulation in here, and then it's going to get covered with 6 inches of insulation, and we'll cross the seams and seam caulk everything, get it sealed in real nice. I've got a little bit of electrical to run. I'm going to move the light that was by this door. I'm going to move it over here for this door, because we're going to put all of our shelving and stuff back here, and we'll build a wall right here so that the whole thing's not a cooler, that we actually have some storage as well. So I'm going to start throwing some insulation in. So here's the next stage. I've gotten all the insulation up inside of the actual framing of the trailer that holds the skin and the plywood on, and it's got a nice 1-inch gap here, so that the foam insulation slides right in. You slide it in the gap there, and it just holds itself in place, and that's pretty awesome. So I've got 1 inch all the way through the trailer, and it's an R5 at this point, and it needs to be sealed with some great stuff, and then glued in some other places. I have a little bit of electrical to run still for some lights, but we are ready to go to get our AC unit in, which is supposed to be here tomorrow, so we can get that in, and the cool bot should be here by Friday, so we can get all that wired up and ready to roll. Now we're going to start framing out our end wall here with metal stud. As you can see here, I've got it all cut and ready to go. I'm using as much metal as possible because obviously, there's going to be some moisture inside of this thing, so we want to do everything we can to keep, any mold from growing or any issues like that. So we'll have the metal stud, and we'll fill that in with insulation. It's going to get a sheet of 2 inch, a sheet of 1.5 inch in that for the 3.5 inches that it's going to give us, and then it'll get a 2-inch sheet on top of that, and that is going to give us an R30 plus after it's all sealed up. And then these other walls are going to get 3 sheets of 2-inch R10 value foam insulation. This is just Foamular. I suggest the 250, but the inside stuff I'm using 150. The 250 is a 25 psi. It's a lot stronger. So on the finish wall, it'll be the 250, so that it won't dent up if it gets hit, and then it's going to get covered up as well. But this is the next phase. Now that I've got the 3 different sheetings on, that I wanted to show you guys the difference on the raw side in just the studs that the actual trailer is made out of. It gets a 1-inch Foamular, which is an R5 value. To build your 2x4 walls, I built steel, as I said before, so that there aren't any mold issues if it does get wet. So we fill that in first with 2-inch Foamular, which is an R10, and then we finish it out with 1.5 inch Foamular, and then do a foam board Loctite caulking to kind of seal it up. That's this right here. We're also using great stuff to fill in gaps here and there, so it's not perfectly sealed, but on top of this we'll get another 2-inch sheet of Foamular, and it'll be one full sheet on the outside of the studs, and that'll be the seal. that we're looking for to get everything done. The Coolbot website and people that are building it, they've been saying that they should use 3M High Strength 90 to stick these sheets together. Well, wrong move, man. This actually melts the insulation, the Foamular. So this is the closed cell stuff, and I used too much of it evidently, and I melted some and ruined a little bit. This stuff isn't cheap. So I'll be taking this stuff back. I suggest to just use the Loctite foam board caulking, and it's just it's just a construction adhesive by Loctite, and it's specially made for foam board, so it won't melt the board. And keep going on. One other thing that's really cool, check it out. This is what came today. Love and life. We're going to get to cut this hole today and see if we can't get it installed, and we can do a finished product wall after that. It'll be awesome.